On this computer. Recording in progress. Oh, okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another adventure with Cynthia at home with Cynthia Maria.
I'm Maria.
Hi. Nice to see you. You look so beautiful.
I'm kind of blonde again. I don't know if you could see. See?
Yep. It
Yeah.
looks good on
I
you.
you know, I go back and forth depending on my mood.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, people either like it or they hate it because they're so used to it. I have beautiful black hair and I love
Mm-hmm.
it,
Mm-hmm.
but once in a while, I like a taste of being blonde. Just
Yep.
do it. This
I
a
I
fun.
I like my natural highlights.
You have beautiful hair. I mean, if
Oh,
you have really nice hair. So
thank you. This is what's left of dyeing it.
yeah.
This is all natural highlights up here.
But that's in now,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah,
where it's either lighter on the top and it gets darker. It's what is it called? It's
I have no idea.
word. No, the ombre. Ombre. I think that's it. I'm
Ombre.
saying it wrong. It's ombre. Yeah, it's where it either is dark on the top and lighter at the bottom or
Oh, yeah.
top
Okay.
darker. It's like it's the new thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it looks good on some. It depends on how it's done.
yeah, it depends on how it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've thought about going uh bright purple myself. Maybe some tones of gold and maybe some polka dots.
In your hair.
Yeah.
Okay, Cynthia. You do that,
Oh,
girl. You
so
go
in
do.
all right. So this week, we are um, taking a break from the audio book, and just talking about Christmas and what's happening this particular year during Christmas. Um, Trying to hold on to a sense of 100 years old plus tradition of Santa Claus and uh, you know, uh,
I went to the post office and I was standing online. I had some stuff to mail out and I was hoping to get stamps, Christmas
mm-hmm,
stamps.
mm-hmm.
And a woman about she was at the front of the line, I was all the way at the back. I hear her saying, "Well, where are your Christmas stamps?" None of them were out. And I guess she couldn't see well, and she was like, are those the elves? Are those the elves?" And she was looking at something that definitely was not an elf. And the girl's like, "We don't have anything except elves." And she went in the back and she got her the elves. And she's like, "But where are the Christmas trees? And where are the Christmas stamps? And where's, like, the Jesus and the mother and, Mother Mary?"
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, they didn't have any. And I'm not sure if it was just my post office, or I wanted to ask you, did they just do away with that? And it's so funny because the guy that was like maybe a couple of two or three people in front of me, he was getting irritated. He was like, "Just finished. What are you looking for the stamps for?" And I said, "It's so sad that," I said in front of everyone, and everybody was getting irritated, but I said, "It's so sad that they're doing away with Christmas."
Yeah,
And it's not just now, it's been happening the last, like, what, 15 years,
at
where
least that, yeah.
yeah, it's 15, 20 years where they've just started to skip over the holidays. And so you go from Halloween to Thanksgiving, and then, like there's no Christmas.
Yeah,
It-
yeah.
I just feel that way. I feel like they're, like, slowly society is doing away. You know how they wanted to get God out of the schools?
Right.
And totally disagree. I think God belongs in the schools. It's okay if you're
Mm-hmm.
that's your personal business.
Yeah,
But I'm sorry. Something to believe in. For me, I believe that people don't want to believe in something because it takes them off the hook for doing whatever they're doing. You know,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
um, you know, if you have no God and you have no path of what's right and wrong, then
mm-hmm.
you can do anything.
Yeah,
you know, like
Yep.
it's a free for all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's what's, it's a breakdown in society in terms um, of, of just having a conscience of knowing what is acceptable and what is not. It's almost like everything's acceptable today, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and um, forget about rewriting the dictionary because people
Oh,
have done
oh,
so. Yeah,
I'm sorry. Speaking of dictionary,
yeah.
I just saw on the news about 20 minutes ago that the is it Webster's? There's a dictionary company, a company that writes the dictionary that changed our attitude or changed what is a woman, the definition of a woman. So in the definition,
So much for just talking about Christmas.
yeah. So yeah, sorry.
No, I'm
But
not
but
because
that is
a woman born a woman. I don't care if I'm sorry if I'm
yeah,
offending anyone out there,
but it
but
says in the dictionary now that a woman is defined as basically what you want to be. If you want to be called a woman, then you're a woman. Doesn't matter what sex you were born. What matters is what is a woman. And
okay.
according to the dictionary now, a woman is anybody who wants to be called a woman.
You know what's so sad in this society? That you have I have no problem if you are over the age of 26 and over, and you decide, I do have a problem when you're younger
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and adults are deciding for you whether you should have your genitals taken off or not.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
do think that you need to be an adult to make that decision. Once you're an adult, I
Absolutely.
have no problem with it. Okay. I don't care. I'm not God.
Yeah.
You do as you please. You know, spanking is against the law, but apparently taking off your 4-year-old genitals is not against the law.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's
And
that, and how messed up is that?
and I'm really glad I can say this in a society where I don't have to worry that I have little children that can be taken away from me because I have an opinion about this.
Yeah.
I think that it's disgusting. I think that if I had children today, I would definitely homeschool them. I would not allow them to go to school. I think that teachers are so afraid of losing their tenure or their jobs, their licenses, that they have to go along with the rhetoric of it's okay to. I don't care if you want to be called it, they, he, we, whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
But the
Yep.
fact is the fact. A woman is a woman, a man is a man.
Right.
Somehow you transform into whatever you want. We can't take a child, a baby, and if if the 4-year-old says I'm Spider-Man,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go to their face with spider webs
Yeah.
because the child is his imagination is going that he's Spider-Man.
Right.
Some reference to if he feels that for a little while he wants to dress with a tutu, have no
Mm-hmm.
problem with that. If he wants to be creative and the little boy wants to dress with a tutu, great. Let him be creative and go into his imagination.
Yep.
But let him
Yep.
grow up and become 26 when his frontal lobe is fully developed to
Right.
decide if he'd like to transform into a woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
So
sorry. It's just
yeah,
it's
it's
just not being
it's biology. It's biology 101. Uh, so
it is, yeah, and it's sad that you and I could be taken off of a platform
yeah,
because we have an opinion.
right, right. That's right. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So after that, okay, so Glenn Beckman, or not Beckman, Glenn Beck is a talk show host, and he's on YouTube, and he's really good, really good, really good, fun to listen to, has a lot of good points. So shout out to Glenn Beck. And while I'm at it, don't forget to click on like,
Share, subscribe.
subscribe, share, ring the bell. Ding, 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 ding. See? Ding, 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 ding. So thank you very much for doing that. And so that way, Maria and I can see you more often. And you might even get to have an opinion back to us so we can respond right away. That would be
But
amazing.
Here's the deal, guys. If you want a nation or friends or family or just like people who are followers to mimic everything, this is a conversation. If you disagree with us, respectfully tell us why. Otherwise, we block you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we just, if you're all nasty, we just shut off comments. But if you want in this world, a platform where people can have opinions and not a world that mimics you or is so afraid that they'll be X'd out, that they'll lose their jobs, that they'll lose their children because of an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
That a parent can lose their child because little Johnny wants to be a girl, and you say, no, Johnny, when you're older, you can make that decision. But right now, mommy and daddy are in charge, and you can wear the dress, you can wear the little tutu, but you're not doing anything permanently till you're old enough and your brain is developed enough to decide what you want to do.
Right.
Where you have CPS now coming in, taking away the kids because thank God I'm 54 CPS, so I have no young children. But if I was a young mother, I'd be afraid.
I'd be leaving. I'd be going somewhere else. Yeah. I would be leaving the country.
All those Democrats that wanted to leave the country when Trump was president.
Should have. They should have left. They all should have left.
I don't understand.
We should have got them all in a line and here you go. Here's your ticket. Here's your ticket. See ya. You know?
Why didn't they leave?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So now I'm sorry I brought all that into our Christmas show. So now I'm going to get back into our Christmas show. But that just, when you said woman, that set something off in me. And it was so fresh and so raw that I thought I got to share this.
So if there are no women anymore, and there's all this opinion of, I want to be a piece of wood today. So today I'm a piece of wood. So I want you to call me Mr. Wood or leather or what. It's so freaking, the language today is so stupid. Little ring-a-ding-ling for your little brain cells, which I'm so scared that the majority of people don't have anymore. You need to, and I'm not trying to be nasty, but I do feel that people's rights as Americans has been so, it's so corrupt today in terms of how people are communicating. There's been, what is it called when, and I can't think of it because I'm so tired, but what is it called when you have a disruption on your computer, or when there's things just like,
a virus,
like the static on a TV or
an interruption,
or that's what I feel like's happening. And you aren't of the majority. It's like being in high school and having a popular crowd say, well, if you're not one of us, you're nothing. You're canceled. Get over yourself. This is America. It's a melting pot. if on I would never go around telling a Muslim woman not to wear her scarf on her head, or
Mm-hmm.
that's her right. That's why she comes to this country, to have the freedom to do that, right? I mean, it's nice to assimilate, but
Mm-hmm.
if you have a certain religion
Mm-hmm.
and you're following it, and that's what your religion tells you, I I respect it totally.
Yeah.
That you can follow your religion, and that's how much you believe in it. I get it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
you have to respect everybody. You
Right.
can't erase history. You can't go around
No.
knocking down statues and getting rid of history.
Yeah.
Okay. Lincoln, all of them were men of their time.
Yep.
Yes, they had slaves, but that's what they knew back then. And first of all, there were slave owners who sold slaves to this
Yeah.
country.
Yeah.
Okay. And so it's wrong. Slavery, owning a person is wrong. Case closed.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody should another human being ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And get over it, because black and white, it's a color. Okay. We are people. God,
Mm-hmm.
well, if you hate blacks, you hate God. Because guess
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
God made black people. Okay.
Yep.
Not the Greeks, not the Italians, not the Jews. God made us all. So when
Mm-hmm.
you hate Jewish people, you hate God. If you hate
Yeah.
Greek, when you hate another group of people, don't even bother walking into any kind of religious, uh, you know, church or a mosque or anywhere.
Yeah.
Don't go. Don't pretend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think it's so disgusting that
It is. They
that people
they're
say, "Oh,
not they're not
this,
looking at, oh, I can do this because I live in a free country.
yeah,
If they lived in where is it where the soccer games are, international soccer games, world soccer games are being played, um, Eastern Middle East country, uh, doggone it. But they don't believe in gay. They have laws against people who are gay or lesbian. It's not allowed in their country. They do not support it. They do not advertise it, and you can go to prison for it.
yeah.
Um, their players were being punished for supporting the rainbow flag that the United States players brought over. They were being punished, beaten, jailed, imprisoned. They were being threatened that their families would be killed, that their families would be taken from them. It's bad. So, what they should look at is, wow, I can do these things here, and I can be an idiot, and I can talk like this and act like this because, hey, I'm living in a free country. They're not going to beat me up or put me in prison or do any of those things because I live in
My
a free country.
my niece is half black. Okay, she's a year old.
Yeah, I
Uh,
have many
I
mixed racial people in our family.
you
So
know,
it's
I mean, listen. We didn't. It was when I was growing up. It was you're Greek. You marry a Greek.
yeah,
My first
my mom
Greek.
was the same way.
Yeah,
And it is what it is.
it
But
is what it.
that's
But
the beauty of
my
it here in this country.
yeah, my I think she's my third cousin. My third cousin married and I have never met him, and I haven't met the baby either. But married somebody from not Uruguay. um oh my god. You oh my god, I can't even say it. I'm like, when you know something and it's just not coming out.
Yeah.
Uganda.
Europa? No, that's a
Uganda.
planet. Uganda?
It's the the African, I can't
Okay.
even, oh my God. I forgot where he's from. I don't know why I know it and it's just not coming out. But anyway, she's
Yeah.
a year old, very cute little baby, half
Mm-hmm.
black.
Yeah.
Um, cute.
Yeah.
Um, you know, it she's from God. God,
Yeah.
you know, I mean,
Yeah.
you've got to if you're a real Christian and you're a real Muslim, or if you are of, you know, you have a heart, realize
Mm-hmm.
we're just all trying to get up in the morning, go to sleep at night, do it all over again, be good to our families.
Yeah.
You know, we have hiccups in life, like I can just remember where he was from. Nobody's perfect,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Uh, Cynthia and I are definitely not perfect. We have opinions. Sometimes they're
Mm-hmm.
strong.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean that we're right. It
Yeah.
means there are opinions. And sometimes you can have an opinion today that you change tomorrow, right?
Yep.
That's
Yep.
what a conversation's about.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I
So
might very differently tomorrow than I think today,
right.
you know,
Right.
and I may not always agree with everybody. And I do
Mm-hmm.
times that because of uh the world being very prejudiced in some ways, that it is much more difficult for an interracial couple.
Yeah.
And that's why usually a lot of whites will stay with whites, blacks will stay with blacks. But it does happen, and you have to be accepting of everyone, right? And even if you're gay, great. You're trans, great. Just don't do it when you're older. Don't take a
Yeah.
baby and transform that baby into another sex. There are multiple, where these children regret what they've done. Go on YouTube.
Absolutely.
To them.
Absolutely.
There are children who are saying, I made a mistake. That's a
Yeah.
big mistake.
Yeah. Because
If
the puberty blockers,
that's a
it's
huge mistake.
it's a fact that puberty blockers are not meant to be used on kids.
Yeah.
What they're calling puberty blockers are used for cancer patients to slow the cancer down. The drug that they call a puberty blocker is used on cancer patients and
Yeah.
dementia patients, not on children, to stop their body from its natural biological growth. And
Listen,
so, and it's not reversible. You can't change back. So that guy, Glenn Beck, he had a gal on there that had gone through that at a young age. She told her parents, "Yeah, I want to be a boy," and they allowed her to be mutilated, breasts removed, uh, puberty blockers, the whole run. Now she's an adult.
yeah.
She regrets her decision, but it's not reversible.
Yeah.
Her decision is not reversible. She won't be able to have children now, and she won't be able to breastfeed. Two of the things that she wants to do now, and she can't. So it's, you know, parent.
All I'm saying is, and if you guys want to listen to 2 minutes of us talking and then make an opinion of everything that we're saying, then that's fine. But I really think that when, like, I don't like Megan, Harry's wife.
Mark Markle,
But wa-
Markle,
I'm watching the
Meghan Markle, is that her name?
Oh God, I'm watching the document. Okay.
Oh,
I'm
you watched her document.
Oh yeah, I am. Because it's exactly what I've been saying. Sometimes I'm willing to listen, and even with somebody I disagree with. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because then you learn, you
Right,
know.
right.
I mean, I can't say I don't like her if I don't listen to her and and see, maybe I'm wrong. No, I
Mhm.
don't think I am. I still don't like her less. Okay. I've never been a big fan of like first of all, Prince Philip was Greek, by the way. He was the Greek prince, one of the last Greek princes of Greece,
Hmm.
and then met her, and then we got rid of you know, the whole monarchy thing in Greece.
Oh,
And
okay.
so he was the last one of that family from Greece. But I've never been a big fan of, you know, like the royals. I didn't dislike them. I actually liked Queen Elizabeth, but you know, I've never been like I followed them or anything until now. And I just think you're not serving the family. You left your royal duties. Why would you think that you're entitled to titles
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
security?
Yeah.
You chose to leave
Right.
the very institution that you're putting down. So she's saying their prejudice. They didn't like her baby because her baby was half black. That's what she's saying, which I don't believe because I only saw that country welcome them. I
Mm-hmm.
saw the entire country in England being ecstatic that there was going to be like a more modern flavor to the royal family
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
by welcoming somebody who was of an ethnic background, right? I'm ethnic
Yeah.
too. I'm right. Some people would say Greeks aren't whites, and that's what they used to say in the 60s and the 70s. They
Mm-hmm.
would
Mm-hmm.
not white. So, you know, I mean, get over it. If somebody doesn't like Greeks, I really don't care.
Yeah.
If you know who you are and you're proud of who you are, what do I care if somebody likes Greeks or not?
Right.
People oversensitive today. It's gone beyond. Um, but I just like her more. She started making fun of how, oh, I didn't know I had to curtsy.
Yeah, they had that on the news.
Oh, and then she
You
goes
know,
like this. Then she goes like this,
yeah.
and he didn't slap her.
Eh,
And
he should
say,
have
what the
got up
hell's
and
wrong
left the
with
room. Yeah.
you?
Yeah. He should have
I'm
left her
sorry.
by herself. I agree. I saw that and I saw the look on his face and I'm like, why don't you get up and say, you know
Yeah,
what?
man, my
That's a
grandmother. This
really
is
awful thing to say.
okay. First of all, you knew you weren't going to stay in that family. She knew there's nothing that's going to tell me. She knew she was going to go in there. She was going to get the titles and then she was going to grab him and get out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the conversation's probably like, listen, Harry, you don't stick up for me. I'm going to play the race card
Yeah.
and you're going to go down with it. I don't believe for a second. My opinion, maybe I'm all wrong. Maybe he was the one who wanted to get out and she had no idea. She had no idea she had to curtsy. Oh, but I didn't know I had to do it when the cameras were off, or I didn't know I had to do it. You know what? Have some freaking respect. You're in somebody else's house now.
Yeah.
And they're royal, and that's just the way it is. You
Yeah.
want to get into it, baby? Then you do what you're supposed to.
Yeah.
It's respect,
Yeah. Well, and to say that,
which has
like,
not
what, a month after his grandma dies, you know,
so
that
disrespectful.
was so awful,
What
awful,
do you
awful, awful. What?
you're like too good for the like I
Yeah.
just and I like I said, I would never want to marry somebody in any kind of like
I
royal
the
or
way
whatever.
he was looking at her after she said that and did that stupid thing, I'd be surprised if he stays with her for any real length of time. You know,
I
she's
so
really being,
so whipped. He's so whipped.
yeah,
And you know what?
it's bad.
Embarrassed. And I got it. I almost feel sorry for him because let me tell you something. I was and I'm not going to go into it, but you know, my last marriage was horrible for me. It was
Hmm.
abusive and all that stuff. Okay. So that being said, um, sometimes I think a part of me, other than abused women, don't call the cops. We
Hmm.
know, and they stay in the abuse marriages far too long. in an abusive situation. And everybody's story is different, but if you look at statistics, you go back, that's not what the show is about tonight. That's what happens. And I think for him, in a lot of ways, he's like that. He's in that abused state. I really do believe that he's like, I'm not saying she's abusing him, but because be a man.
Yeah.
No, but I think he is too embarrassed to go back. I really do believe that like I say, in my culture is not a forgiving culture. Okay, I'm sorry. Greeks are not forgiving of divorce. Okay, and it's very, very difficult. And I think in a lot of cultures, in the Muslim culture, divorce is like taboo. I think it's taboo in a lot of cultures. And I think him just being in the monarchy itself,
right,
that's the culture right there. That's its little set of rules that you don't do these things. You don't leave your wife. Plus the fact he looks back at his mother and he feels like, I can't leave my children. If I divorce her, I lose my kids.
Well, not necessarily. Yeah, not necessarily. He could get custody of them.
Oh, he will get half custody, but you know what? He remembers his childhood. Yeah. And I think that scares him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying, listen, you know what? I'm not in his brain. I really don't know. I'm just,
yeah.
I'm saying this is an opinion of mine. Okay. I am not saying, I'm not, because today it's like such a suit culture. Everybody's suing each other for an opinion now. Yeah. But like my opinion that this is going on, I don't know. Nobody's ever told me this. I've never heard it. I don't know it. It's an opinion from watching that documentary that this guy looks scared. An opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. You tell me how he looked to you. What did you think?
He looked really disgusted.
Yeah.
And trapped. And what in the hell am I doing here?
And I think he's a race card too, because if he leaves and left your wife who is half black, maybe that's another thing too that's going through his mind. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Felix is having a good time with my microphone. Can you hear me okay still?
I hear you.
Hey, you can't chew on the microphone. We're having a good time tearing up what's her face Markle.
I don't. I just don't like her.
No, she's looking for bad attention. And it's just not good.
A lot of smart black women. Candace Owens, one of them. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nothing to do with color.
Right.
No better a black. Like I said, you hate somebody because they're black. You hate God because God created them. You hate white. You hate God because God created us all. So we better start getting along. But Candace Owens, beautiful black woman, and Meghan Markle. And
she's not beautiful. Meghan Markle is not a beautiful person. She's not a beautiful woman.
No.
Inside or out. Lucy, don't you bite her.
Yeah. But she's mean. I mean, she's a mean person. If you listen to her, she's like one of those. Yeah. She's just mean. I don't. So off of Meghan Markle now because she's not even worth it. I don't want to do a show on her. So what else?
Okay. So the other thing that was on the news was there's a town in one of the eastern states that, geez, I wish I could remember the state. Anyway, the library decided, there was a worker there that decided that putting up the Christmas tree offended people coming into the library. So they had a community meeting, a town meeting, and the townspeople showed up and let him have it.
Good.
And so this one gal says, I see what's happening here. And all these people over here, they see what you're doing. And what you're trying to do is turn this into a woke town. And we're not going to let it happen.
Good.
All of this is happening because of a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
The national news, Fox News, CNN News, all the big news stations have them on world news over a Christmas tree.
Wow.
Yeah. So they put the Christmas trees back up in the library. So when we think about Christmas, you know, it's more than a tradition. It's not something that just happens in this country. Christmas is not limited to the United States of America. People in India, people in Russia, people in Ukraine, people in Ireland, in the Congo, in Somalia, all over the world, people celebrate Christmas.
Here's the thing, though. I've always, that was one of my first jobs. I worked in the library in Great Neck. And I got to tell you, we had Hanukkah bushes, we had a Christmas tree, we had Kwanzaa.
Okay.
So it wasn't like, why I haven't seen anybody attack any of the other nationalities, but the Christmas tree is the issue. And that's what bothers me. And I would never want them to get rid of all religion, because I think this is like, it's like the X Factor. It's like, let's see how many things we can X out of history.
Yeah.
Of people's beliefs. We can't X out a man wearing a dress, which if you want to wear a dress, go right ahead if you're a man. Yeah. But you can X out Christmas. So what you're saying is if we're compassionate, don't call me a she, don't call me a he, call me an it, call me a they, or call me a we. But I can X out you. You can't X out. I've just decided to invent. I've invented a new dictionary. I've invented a new way of thinking about a 4-year-old being a girl, and let's put it under the knife. But your Christmas tree won't be anywhere. The stamps are going out. The trees are going out. Don't talk about Christmas. So we'll X out this you, but I'm going to invent now what you need to believe. And if you don't believe what I believe, and you don't speak the language I speak, and you don't use what I want you to use, then you're off every social media platform. You'll lose your job. You'll lose your children. Okay. Yep. It's a dangerous way of living today. It's a dangerous thing where you have to think, am I allowed to say this? Am I going to be hurt because I said this? It's just
all those woke people going around doing their hate stuff most of them probably wouldn't be alive if they were in other countries. Yeah. Because they would be beheaded, the thieves would have their hands chopped off. You know, they don't understand. They're not taking the time to understand or recognize what they have here.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
go
very,
spend a few months, not a few days, a few months in third world countries.
yeah.
Go spend a few months in war-torn countries. Go spend a few months in Paris as a resident. Or in Holland. I think it's Holland now, or Finland. Where is it where they're doing away with the farmers? There's a country, Finland or Holland. But yeah, they're taking away they're doing away with farming. They're getting rid of the cows. They're getting rid of all of it. And now the farmers are on strike in that country. Because the government's trying to take all of that away. So, but here in this country, we're free to do that. But if there is power above you, like January 6th, there are still prisoners being held there for no reason. You just disappeared. Where did you go? Oh, there she is. Ooh,
There.
you're back. So yeah, if they would take time to recognize, Thanksgiving and Christmas are two of our biggest holidays here in this country. It's Thanksgiving is bigger than, some pilgrims came over and invited some neighboring Native Americans to come have dinner with them. No, there were some people who were starving and dying who came over in a ship hoping to find wonderful things here, not knowing that they had to bust their balls to make a life for themselves here. And the neighboring Native Americans felt bad for these stupid people that didn't know how to hunt, that didn't know how to start a fire, that didn't know how to do shit. They brought food to them and they ate with them. And the white people, the pilgrims, learned from the Native Americans. But then they wanted everything they had, so they killed almost all of them. Figure that. So Christmas and Thanksgiving are more than just someone's written history. It's an idea. It's a tradition. It's families and friends coming together and being grateful and being grateful for what we have. So many of it. I mean, homeless people have more than most third world country people have. They have a tent. They have a bicycle. Now they're going to get $1,000 a month in California.
Oh, and a cell phone.
And a cell phone, yes. And their drugs and alcohol. And drug kits.
Yeah.
So, take time out to stop your hate and take a look around you.
Yeah.
Stop and think about, wow, I guess I do have it good here. Because it's getting ready to be taken all away.
First of all, if you hate Jewish people, guess what? Jesus was Jewish if you're a Christian, okay?
That's right.
Rethink it.
Yep.
Jesus wasn't Greek. He wasn't Italian, and he wasn't Irish.
Nope.
He was,
okay. That's right. That's right.
So,
he wasn't black. He wasn't white.
People,
He wasn't Japanese, Asian. He wasn't any of those things. He was an Israelite, right? An Israelite.
He was Jewish.
And so he was more brown.
He was dark. Jesus
Yeah.
was.
So and
he wasn't blonde and he wasn't blue-eyed.
No, not
That
at
was
all.
the way, yeah.
And so, but what humans do is they tend to create things that represent their belief.
God, wait. Here's like a bug. Some guy, I gotta put my glasses on to see what the hell this is because this flies too. Oh, and now he's on. I think he just died in front of me. Oh my God. Playing dead because he knows I'm gonna kill him. Or
No,
I swear this thing was just buzzing around and it plopped. Ah! No, he's
he was
seriously?
he was pretending.
He was, right? Well,
Well,
sorry.
get something and smash it.
No, please. I know. Oh my God. Oh my God. I swear to God, he was pretending, but I think he really is now. I'm not sure. Sorry, I don't want it like flying towards me. I don't like, usually I'll pick something up and I'll put it outside, but that was like big and had really long legs. Okay.
Could have been a cockroach.
It's not a cockroach, it's a stink bug.
Oh, well, stink bugs are green and have rectangular bodies.
Yeah.
It could have been a water beetle.
No, it's a stink bug. I know what a stink bug is. I've seen we're doing missions and still don't have a stove. 10 months. Because
Oh,
gotta run the line somewhere. Oh, please. Don't get me started. Okay. Anyway.
so, but yeah, according to
Our Christmas.
yeah, we're back on our Christmas show. Bad Cynthia. I drew us off it.
Talk about all the happy things. Listen,
yes.
Let's be thankful and let's respect everyone. And whether you're, let's stop looking. Here's the thing. Okay. There's not a nation that hasn't been slaves at some point, right?
Correct. Okay. Yeah.
Slaves for 400 years. The blacks were slaves for 200 years. The Jews were slaves. There's not a nation. I'm sure Irish were slaves at some point.
Yeah, they were. The Irish and the Scottish were controlled by the British, and at some point, and then of course there's the Romans who had their gladiators who were slaves from all different parts of Europe, and yeah, I mean, Egyptians had slaves, and actually they discovered that they had two classes. They had slaves, and then they had people who wanted to serve.
Oh, that's not going to work. I know. I'm having some technical difficulty. I got it, I think.
You got it? Okay. I got three critters. I've got Lucy's on the bed, Chewy's down on the floor to my right, and then there's Felix. He's laying under that's the cat I had. He's laying under the desk. I got all the babies here.
Oh my God. And I'm disappearing.
Oh, you're back.
No, I'm here. There I am. Oh my God, if you see how I'm doing this, I really need a tripod.
I got one. There you go.
I had one. I know I have it somewhere. I'll find it.
Tripod. So, so, Christmas actually, who was it? Oh, God dang it. The Jehovah Witness. So according to Jehovah Witness, Christmas time, December 25th was a Roman holiday, according to Jehovah Witness. And so they have this whole theory about Jesus and when he was born, and that whole Christmas thing. And so that's why they don't celebrate Christmas. They don't celebrate any of the holidays. They don't celebrate Halloween. They don't celebrate any of them. I don't even think they celebrate birthdays.
Admit that he was born sometime towards the spring, really, not in December.
Yeah, because in December they wouldn't have been herding the sheep. So yeah, it was fall. And so yeah, it was some kind of a Roman holiday. But it is what it is. For whatever reason, people decided to do a thing with Christmas. And so here we are. Part of being in this country is that it's okay if people don't want to put up decorations, if they don't want to celebrate, but you don't get to take that away from those who do.
Right.
You don't get to go to Japan and tell them, hey, you can't celebrate your holidays the way you want to, because they'll probably send you on the first flight out. And it's just
I think what we get very passionate, and it's not trying to offend anyone. You have to understand, we're living in a country where it's like, well, it's offensive if you say if I call you a she, like a girl, and you're not a girl now all of a sudden. You're looking at generations of people who grew up. A woman was a woman, man. Now all of a sudden this generation wants to get rid of everything that has ever existed in life and say, hey, you know what, we have a whole new set of rules, and if you don't follow our rules, then we're going to X you out.
Yeah.
However you want to.
Yep.
And that's what's not fair. Yes, you have to respect everybody. Yes, you have to respect if wants to transition. I get it. Transition. That's your life. You have one life to live it the way you want to live.
Right.
But don't tell everybody else how to think.
Right.
And don't, if I have to respect and have compassion for you, then respect and have compassion for me, that these are my beliefs.
Yeah. Right.
And a woman biologically is a woman.
Right.
I don't care if you want to create a new name for yourself. But don't get rid of addiction. These words, I
yeah, it's messed up.
It's messed up. It's so messed up. Now all of a sudden we have a dictionary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Messed up that
we have been redefined. Women have been redefined. I absolutely agree. I feel that there needs to be a completely separate category in sports for transgender.
Sports people got on and she said it was so unfair that the swimmer, whoever, and
Caitlin's used to be
right. Caitlin got on
Jenner. Yeah, Caitlyn Jenner
got on TV and said it was so totally unfair.
Absolutely.
For her. for her to be in that competition.
Absolutely. And the majority of uh, gay and lesbian and transgender communities don't believe in what's happening. They have a group of people, like a community of people all over the country who are joining this call to LGBTQ to stop the insanity, to stop trying to take people's parents' children away from them, to stop indoctrinating them, to stop trying to tell them to lie to their parents if they feel like they want to be a boy. You've got psychologists at children's hospitals in Minneapolis, in in California, in New York, in Philadelphia, who are telling people, sure, bring your kids in. If they want to be transgender, we can do that for them. We will gladly mutilate your children. That should be child abuse.
Don't spank them though, or you'll have them taken away. If you spank them on the butt, you'll have them taken away.
Right.
But if you chop off their, then you get to keep them.
Yeah. I mean, who does that to a 3-year-old? I mean, they're doing this to children as young as 3. And they're encouraging abortion. If you don't want to get pregnant, then use protection. Don't go and have sex knowing that you could very likely get pregnant, because that's like saying, I want to be a baby murderer. So I'm going to get pregnant as many times as I can so I can keep murdering my babies.
Here's the thing. Don't use it as birth control.
Yeah.
I think that abortion clinics hold a certain job that, you know, that they shouldn't be abolished. Okay. But here's there are girls who are getting pregnant 5 times a year, 6 times a year going for abortion.
Yeah. They're just taking a pill.
Right. And here's the thing that, you know, if a child is raped, I don't believe that child should carry.
No.
Okay.
Absolutely agree with that.
But I think that you know early enough in the stage that you're pregnant that you know go get checked if you haven't had your period in a month or 2.
Yeah.
Go get checked. You don't have to carry it to late term abortions are disgusting. Right. Okay.
Right.
Figure it out early on. If a woman is raped, she shouldn't have to carry her rapist.
Absolutely. I think it's very rare that women who suffer child molestation or rape should not. I don't think there's been enough studies to determine if they should not be allowed to abort the baby or not. I admire women who are able to follow through and have this baby that was created out of evil, but and just a sickness. I really admire them. They have a strength that I did not have, that there's no way I would have been able to follow through. No way. You know,
and I don't think that they should have to feel guilty if they can't follow through with it. If they are, I just don't. I don't. If they've been violated, I don't believe that they. I swear to God, this thing is like flying around somewhere. Like I hear it buzzing. It's really freakish. It's like, and it's loud. It's like an angry. It does not my
Maria is an angry stink
it,
bug in
you know what? That's America. You don't have to like my opinion.
right.
Like I don't like Kim Kardashian's opinion
Yeah.
that she feels like, you know, um, you know, that it's okay to influence young girls, and in the
Hmm.
does. I'm not
Yeah.
going to get it. I think though that there's a lot of I have some respect for her when she does help people who have been abused by the system and jailed for crimes that they did not commit. I do believe that she's done some good with her platform.
Yeah, but
There are
she's a really sick woman in her
there
brain.
are other things that I really disagree with her on. You
Hmm.
know,
I,
and
I, I think they do the good things so that you'll remember the good things, and when you look at the bad things she's done, well, but she's done some really good things.
yeah,
That's the nature of a silent abuser.
yeah. Um, I don't think that you have to agree with everything that Cynthia and I say. And obviously, sometimes we're very, very strong. And I think that could put some people off. But you have to also listen to the whole thing, get the whole message.
Yeah.
Um, there's no way that anybody that I do not believe that there's a God that wants any culture, color to be enslaved. It is
Hmm.
it's so disgusting to own a human being, to
Hmm.
own another human being, to um to disrespect any.
Hmm.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
At the same time, if we keep looking back at what's been done
Hmm.
culture, if the Greeks keep looking back at what was done to them and keep calling Istanbul Constantinople, we live, it's not Constantinople anymore. It is
Yeah.
Istanbul.
Right.
It
Right.
is, it
They
is
were
the,
just talking
uh,
about that on a show, and talking about, during that time, about slavery. And I tell you, more and more people, and I want to know, what the hell is Generation X? What is X? What does the X stand for? What generation are we from? Y? Generation Y. Why the hell are they doing these things? That's the
um,
generation we're from.
here's the thing. We're not getting off of our land and giving it back to the Indians.
Right. That was another thing. Oh my gosh. So, what state is that? Oh, in California. That black woman that was just voted in for mayor.
Yeah.
So she has her first day in office. She came right out and said it, that she's declaring homelessness. I think it's San Francisco, homelessness, a a national emergency. So one of the things that she's going to do is she's going to move people out of their homes so that the homeless can live in their homes. Thank you.
Wait, come again?
Yeah. She's giving herself the power
Okay.
over the people of San Francisco. The people who are working hard to pay their bills and pay their, keep their homes, that kind of thing. Yeah. She now has the power to claim eminent domain of your property. So if she wants you out of your home so that John Blow can move into your home and
Gave
have
her
a place to live.
power. Wait, I don't understand. Hold on. Cynthia, I have like seriously not been keeping up with a lot of things lately
Okay.
because of my environment being the way it is. So
Okay.
let me ask you again. She's fine, in office.
Mhm.
Who gave her this power to go
She
and
did. She did. She has given herself power of eminent domain.
I understand what that is. I'm in real estate. This is what I don't understand. She's given it to herself.
Yes. And the very
Obviously,
first thing she
can't
came
really
out,
and implement it. There's no way
yeah,
she can implement it.
um,
She cannot go
not
up to a family living in a home that they've paid for. There's no way that she can go in and say, hey, you're out, and they're in.
but that's what they want. That's what she's done. She is declaring eminent domain. She is declaring San Francisco a state of emergency, of homelessness emergency.
There's no way that this is going to be allowed, and I'll tell you why.
I don't think it will either. But this is the power that they want.
No.
This is what the elites in government want to do.
Why don't they move out of their homes?
Nancy Pelosi actually had her first TV show. So now Nancy Pelosi has a TV show. And when she was asked by the audience members of the audience, certain questions about why she did certain things or what happened she cut him off. And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this, So yeah, it is, you can get all caught up on YouTube. In 30 minutes, you can get caught up on YouTube of what's happening in our country currently. It's unbelievable. I literally, when in the years we've lived out here, we live in the woods. We live probably 25, 30 miles from the nearest town.
You're on 44 acres, right?
Yep. And on our way to town, there are multiple houses, people living close to the road. When we drive to town, we live on a dirt road. So when we get off the dirt road, we go onto a paved road. And so we drive the paved road all the way to town. But there are many houses along our route. And of course, the closer you get to town, the more houses there are. Mm-hmm. So this year, we're coming home from town the other night, and it was dark by the time we got out. And there were 5, I counted them on the way home, 5 houses that had any Christmas lights out. Only 5. That's because the cost of electric's going up. The cost of gas might have gone down, but that is only because Biden used up the rest of the extra fuel. The rest of it went to China and probably Ukraine. But what's left is what he's lowering the gas prices with now. And when that's gone, the gas prices are going to go straight up again. People in California, they have all these electric vehicles. They're not allowed to charge them during the holidays. So that means they can't get to work. That means they can't make money. That means they can't pay their bills. So what happens? They end up homeless.
That little shit got out of my, sorry. Freaking me out. She's freaking me out. slightly. Oh,
You have to
both
get
disappear.
one of the guys in there to get the bug.
No, it's crazy. Um, mm, oh my
So
God. Let me
it,
ask you something. Where our country spends billions, if not more, on bringing in immigrants, which is great. You know, my parents were immigrants. My parents are Greek. Um, I'm first generation. Uh, we spend so much money and so much compassion on just allowing people, which is fine if they are running, like I said, have a safe house, get the wall up, have a safe house. What are you doing here? Are you running? You're scared? Fine. We're going to house you for, which is going to save the country a lot of money. 7 years. We're going to give you job training. We're going to watch your children. We're going to even get you the job. And then at the end of the 7 years, we'll even watch you maybe have the job for 2 years, make sure that you're acclimated into your new position. It will give you housing, and then you're on your own. And the buck stops, no matter how many children you have. Here's the thing. It would save the country a lot of money, and then we could actually build housing for the homeless and give them job training, just like, you know, we're giving a check to people who are getting pregnant every 5 years so that they keep that check going. Why aren't we housing our homeless? Why aren't we housing our veterans? Why aren't we making sure that they're okay?
Yeah.
There's systems that, you know, and if I have to have a social security, then maybe everybody who comes into this country, right? So once we have that wall up and we have that safe house up and we have those guards there saying, okay, what are you doing? Okay, is that your child? It's not your child. Whose child is it? Okay, let's make sure you have something like a social security. Here's your number. And this is the housing that we're going to have you in. And we're going to help you and watch you for the next 5 to 7 years and make sure that you're acclimated. You have this job training, just like with our homeless. Let's get them into some type of housing where we monitor their if they're on drugs and they're addicted somehow. We get them the medical help. I'm just moving out of this area. I am sorry. I do not like stink bugs. I'm like, okay. So we get them the medical help that they need. We get them, you know, off of drugs. We, you know, get them acclimated into some kind of a job training so that they can be, you know, a part of society, right?
Right.
Keep the system going. Yeah. If you're going to have compassion for all these immigrants, right? That first of all, you're allowing people to come into this country that you can't even track.
Right.
Okay. And I'm going to tell you, I used to live on the highway. My house backed up to the Merritt at some point. And about, I think it was not even 1,000 feet from me, a girl was found in a luggage. And the story was, she was an immigrant who came here, and she was dating another immigrant that you know, that came here and just came into the country. There's no social, no nothing. And he killed her. And the only reason they found him was because she had gone to her house and she told her mom, this guy's going to kill me. And she left with her luggage, the same luggage that she left with. She was found in about 1,000 feet from me. And she had told a friend about him, and the friend knew who he was, and police found him. Had somebody not known, had she not gone and told these people, hey, this is the person who's going to kill me, they would have never found him.
Yeah.
Because there's I have a social security. You have a social security.
Right.
Why should there not be a wall to protect all Americans, including the immigrants that are already here in sanctuary cities, being protected? Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a wall, you have a safe house. you have a system in place of people who work
Mm-hmm.
like this CPS and other government systems in place, right? You
Mm-hmm.
have a system in place of these people who work in these safe houses. Around the border, there's a couple of safe houses. And then you have these people who say, okay, well, why are you here? They interview you, right? Okay, well, we're going to give you a number. This is your
Mm-hmm.
number. I have a social security, you have a number, okay? 4 digits, 8 digits, doesn't matter what the digits are, just as long as they have a number that you can track them with.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're going to give you housing. If we're letting you in the country, right? You gave us a good enough reason why you're here, you're scared. We have to help people. We have to be compassionate. I get that. House them. You're homeless. We're going to house you, okay? We're going to give you the medical help that you need to get back on your feet. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
give you job training. We're going to take care of your kids. But there's a cap. There's a 5-year cap. There's a 7-year cap. Not indefinitely.
Right.
If you choose to have 20 kids after that, well, I hope you can support them.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't have 20 kids, if you can't support 20 kids, then the idea is maybe you shouldn't have them.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Not because the system's going to give you another check.
Mm-hmm.
And if we weren't giving out all these checks, maybe we can help our homeless and our and why should my father work 3 jobs when I was little and support a family of 5 of that were his brothers and sisters and give 40% of a business that my father worked for to his brother who lost 2 businesses prior to that, who doesn't talk to him now? Why should he give that to him or give him
Mm-hmm.
loans or help? Why should he work that hard for somebody to walk in and say, hey, you know what? Well, you worked this hard. Thank you very much, because we're going to give it to these people and you get out.
Mm-hmm.
Why should he bust his butt to do that?
Yeah. Right.
Why?
Right.
Okay. And reparations, my ass. Who's giving reparations to the Greeks? The Greeks don't deserve reparations, just like nobody, because we're trillions of dollars in debt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Stop it. Reparations. The history is history. It shouldn't have happened. Yes. It's very, very bad.
Right.
Okay. But
yep.
let's move forward as a team. Blacks,
Mm-hmm.
whites, Indians, Asians, Jews, Christians, Muslims. Let's all say, hey, we're all Americans.
Yeah.
At some point, one of our family members was an immigrant.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What, you or your parents or whoever. Let's move forward as a system and say, we're going to make America better. Nobody owes anybody anything. Let's all work hard. Let's all help each other to be a part of this great system, and stop looking for an excuse of why somebody owes you something.
Yeah.
Meghan Markle, who the hell is she?
Mm-hmm.
I have a title.
Yeah.
They're prejudiced people. Great. Why would you want to be a part of the system?
Right.
And you're rich enough to get your own freaking security. The hell are you security from them?
Yeah.
And
exactly.
If you wanted your little girl, Lilibet, to be a princess, then maybe you should have stayed in the royal family and served them.
Right.
Otherwise, you're not a princess. You're just like, so get over your ass, because you're not special.
Right.
And you threw your family down the river. Why the hell should you be called a prince?
Right.
Because you sat down with Oprah?
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. There's no such thing. You know what? There's very, very few prejudiced people in the world, and there are a lot more people who want to make it work with everybody. Okay? Mm-hmm. So if somebody doesn't like you, oh, well, do you know who you are? Wake up in the morning, look in the mirror. Can you face yourself? And all these people who get on, I know one specific person I'm thinking of, they get on these platforms and they go, oh, forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. Yeah, I've said that way before this other person said it, somebody I know. They got on their platform and they're like, oh, we need to forgive. And forgiveness makes all the endorphins go off and it makes everything so lovely. Meanwhile, you go around trashing people and taking them down. Maybe thinking, Yeah, you're right. You know what? Forgiveness is good, but don't be all talk.
Right.
Really, really forgive. I forgive the people who have hurt me, even my abuser. Doesn't mean I'm going to invite them to dinner.
Right.
Okay. I forgive my ex-husbands. It doesn't
Hmm.
mean that I want to go hang out with them.
Yeah.
I forgive them. Forgiving them means I hope that they've learned their lessons in life, just like I have.
Hmm.
Forgiving
Hmm.
means that they're God's children. He can love them. Doesn't
Yeah.
mean I have to.
Right.
And you and I hope that they have a good life. But it doesn't
Hmm.
have to be a part of that life.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. Exactly.
So yeah, forgiveness in my religion is I want to get into heaven, I have to forgive, but I don't have to be a part of them. I don't have to invite them over. So yes, forgiveness is good, but when people abuse you over and over and over again, you need
Yeah.
to say, you know what? Maybe they're not for me.
Hmm.
Maybe this is a sign that they shouldn't be part of my life. That
Hmm.
I need to take another path and grow in another way,
Yeah.
in a healthy way for me. So people who abuse me aren't really invited into my bubble, into my world.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. But it doesn't mean that I wish them any bad. What wish, we all have to respect each other. You don't have to like everyone. Nobody
Right.
has to like me, but you have to respect me. And
Hmm.
respect, I'm an American. I'm allowed to have an opinion, just like you are.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Um, uh, you know, it it's horrible to think that the way the world works is that you judge somebody on a color.
Hmm.
A horrible thing. I, I mean, there are a lot of white people who are bad. There are a lot of black people who are bad. There are a lot of white people who are good. There are a lot of black people who are good. We've gone
Hmm.
to this before. It's like the
Hmm.
ABCs. A lot of good cops, a lot of bad cops, and the majority are good. In all of those things, the majority are good.
Hmm.
You have the few who are the loudest who make things bad. But stop asking for reparations, because you know what? Guess what? We need that money back in the pot so we can keep
Yeah.
this whole country that we call America going.
Yeah.
We're draining our country.
Yeah.
We're selling our we're having goods made in other countries, and why aren't we building things in America
Hmm.
and building up America?
Yep.
We're not, you can't call yourself the strongest country in the world when you're weakening our system, when you're allowing people who we have no idea why they're in this country to,
Hmm.
to hurt Americans. And
Yeah.
I'm talking about not blacks, whites, Africans, Greeks, Italians, Irish, Muslims, Christians. We're all Americans, right?
Hmm.
We
Yep.
are working pot. So let's get back to what the reality is of why the immigrants came here in the first place,
Right. Right.
and stop like being crybabies about
Mhm.
who owes you what, and
Yeah.
oh, they
Well,
were once
there's,
dark my baby was.
yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. You love him, he loves you. You have beautiful children. First of all, why didn't you say the name of who said that? We didn't want to take anybody down. Really? You didn't want to take anybody down? What the hell do you think you're doing?
Yeah.
So why didn't you say the name?
Hmm.
I,
Hmm.
I mean, I just don't believe her. And
Yeah.
she said that she spoke French in one video, then she didn't speak French, then like there's so many inconsistencies and so many things that this girl says that it's hard to believe anything she says, but I don't really care enough about her. And I don't think that I think that she knew the system that she was going into with this
Hmm.
with Prince Harry. She knew, right? And
Hmm.
say that she didn't know she had to curtsy to the to the
Queen.
queen.
Yeah.
Um, You know
That
what?
was a really bad thing she did. That was
She's
really just
an idiot. She's an idiot. And
off
he's
the wall rude.
allowing her to do it. Yes, and I am saying allowing her
Yeah.
because he
Yeah.
allows her to take down his family. He's
Yeah.
allowing her to do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he didn't look so sad all those years where you saw, oh, there's joking Harry and happy Harry. And he didn't look
Mhm.
like, he was partying every night at all the poor guy. He was really,
Yeah.
he lived a
I don't
life.
have a lot of sympathy for him.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
It's just disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sorry
It
if
is.
popular opinion. Okay. I'm sorry if it's not popular that you can't spank your kid, and I don't have little kids. Okay. I'm
Mhm.
54 years old. Very happy to say that. And I don't have little kids. But you know what? I'd be afraid to have little kids today. You
Mhm.
can't tell a kid no. You can't spank them, but you can take off their genitalia. Yeah, that you can do.
Yeah.
That
It's
makes
really messed up.
It's a messed up world. Wait till
Yep.
your kid has a brain that's functioning and let
Yeah.
them decide if they want to do that.
Yep.
But there's too many of them that regret it.
Yep.
Okay. It's not disrespect. It is respecting them. It's saying, I want you to be an adult when you make that decision.
It's it's loving your children.
It's
If you
love.
love your children, this Glenn Beck had a good point. He Joe Biden came on last night or yesterday and told the country that uh, we need to love our children
Yeah.
and to listen to our children and not judge them if they want to be someone else. You know, I'm sorry, but if I love my child and my child comes to me and says, "Hey, I'm a penguin. I'm going to be a penguin." Well, you might, because the kid has got a good imagination, you might say to your child, okay, but you're not a real penguin. You're really a little boy or a little girl, but you're not a penguin. So I'm not going to dress you up as a penguin to go to school. But you can pretend you're a penguin. I get that, you know. Um, that's loving your child. To love your child is to teach them boundaries, teach them uh, values, uh, honest integrity, teaching them when they go out into the world so that they're not suffering. So then
Yeah.
they could make a good decision if they still want to be a woman or they still want to be a man, then great, go do that. Go make that change.
Mhm.
But to take that away from a child 3 years old and up is, and to know that there are doctors, he's telling the country, trust your doctors, trust in doctors that they're only want to help your children.
Yeah.
And no, they don't want to help your children. They want to mutilate your children,
Yeah.
happily mutilate your children. And so that's really scary. Um, in Canada now, they have legalized suicide,
Oh my God.
and the government will help you. So if you're a teenager and you're very depressed and you just, can't seem to want to live anymore, you can contact a section of the Canadian government and they will help you kill yourself in a way that you want.
It's really scary.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really, really unbelievable.
It's really, really scary.
Unbelievable.
Myself a
And
drink, and it's a drink. It's I'm like addicted to this stuff. It's a super youth, but it's by
yeah.
Skinny. I don't usually. It's
Okay.
You kind of see it. Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of like, just, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's all good. So, it's just, there are people in the world who seek to create a one world order.
Yeah.
Biden is making deals that he doesn't have a right to make. He has told college students that he will wipe their debts clean. Sorry, but that's against the Constitution, and he's not allowed to do that. Just because he's the president doesn't mean he gets to do whatever he wants. Even the president has rules and laws. And one of them is he is not allowed to take your money to pay off someone else's college debt. So that's what he's trying to do. And that's why the demon rats didn't do as bad as what everybody thought they would. Because at the last minute, they got Obama out there. They got Harris out there. They got Joe Biden out there telling the people, oh, well, we're gonna eliminate college debt. You know, we're gonna let you get your abortions anytime you want. You know, the Republicans and the MAGA people, they're all against that.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want you to get an abortion. And I'm like, man, they're so bad for our country.
No, I listen, I believe a woman has a right to do what she wants with her body.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you don't have the right to constantly abort babies because you don't want to take care of. You don't.
It's like, if you don't want to do that, then go get a hysterectomy.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. What the hell you want with your body?
Yeah. Exactly. But you know, there are doctors now that won't do that because they want you to have babies.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is really messed up.
You can have 10 kids or 11 kids, 12 kids, and you can support them. Go right ahead.
Yep.
But you are just having them because you're careless, and then you go and abort them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if there's if it's early, if it's a mistake, and you because sometimes accidents happen when you do protect yourself.
Right.
If really early, you know, check yourself. You had sex.
Yeah.
You had unprotected sex. Check yourself.
Yep.
Just check.
Right.
And early, then you know, do what you have to do to take care of yourself.
Right.
But it's an accident. But we're talking about the careless people who just don't give a shit.
Right.
Who don't have. And I don't know if you I did in my opinion at one point, I don't know if you watched it, and I was talking about this woman, Margaret Sanger. She's the one who founded,
I think I did,
Planned Parenthood. Yeah. And really an interesting documentary if you ever get a chance, and just look up videos and what she says. So she actually had the audacity to call, she actually started it with the hopes of getting rid of the Black population. Some weeds. For me, and a lot of people took offense because, you know, for whatever reason, you know, maybe she shared the same heritage as them, that I didn't like her because she called Black people weeds. She was trying to get rid of an entire population.
Yeah.
And that's why she started it.
Yep.
That's evil.
That's what the Democrats did for since the time they started. since the time they were formed was to um, keep the keep black people down. You know, they didn't want to pass anything like they could vote. They didn't want to do that. They wanted to control them and keep them down. And Joe Biden was in it right along with all of them. So, it is what has happened in this country in our past is ugly.
Yeah.
Not quite as ugly as what took place in Europe in the British Roman times. It was, oh my gosh, unbelievable. Yeah, let's go watch a show today, honey. Yeah, we're going to go watch some gladiator get eaten by a lion. And we're going to throw some roses at him or some petals at him or some bread at him. I mean,
Listen, history has an ugly side. We're not
Yeah.
saying that.
Yeah.
And like I said, I am no better than an Irish person or a Black person or a Jewish person, or God created us all, and
We're
I
all
believe that
human.
we're all human, but God did create us all,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and none of us are perfect. And
Nope.
I have definitely misspoken. I definitely get passionate sometimes and can go off and that maybe people feel that is harsh, because we're very strong in the way we believe sometimes. I think both are, even when we disagree, we're very strong in what we believe.
Yeah.
But I don't really, my heart isn't to offend anyone. I used to when one of my friends found out I was a Republican, the first thing he said to me is, "You used to be so sweet. You were so kind. You were so good. What happened to you?" And I think, life happens sometimes, and you go,
Yeah.
we live in such a harsh society that it's horrible. Like I said, on the one hand, I do respect a trans woman if that's what she wants to be. If that's, I don't even know if she calls herself a trans woman. She calls herself a trans. They don't even want to say, listen, I I was brought up a certain way. I believe a certain way, but I believe to respect everyone. And if you want to be trans and you want to transition and you feel in your heart that you want to be a woman, that's fine. I don't think even Cynthia is saying that. If that is your position in life, that you need to transition into something, into another form of sexuality, then by all means do it. But do it when you are of age, when your brain is fully developed. And I'm not saying 18. I'm saying 20. It's either 25 or 26. And I think it's 20. When your frontal lobe is developed enough for to make a decision that you can live with.
Right.
Not children who are making decisions and then all up one day and going, I want to be a boy again, or I want to be a girl again.
Yeah.
And you can't do it.
Yeah, you can't.
You're too young. And who are, as a parent, to make
that's
that
just unbelievable. I cannot imagine. It just blows my brain, for a parent to say, oh, I love my kid, I love my kid so much. Now she's 3 and she wants to be a boy.
Exactly. And you know what blows my brain? The audacity of these idiotic teachers who would call CPS on a parent that doesn't want to. Oh, Johnny says, Mommy, I want to be a girl. And the parent says, Johnny, listen, you're Johnny right now. when you're old enough, you make that decision later on, but right now be a little boy. And if you want to wear, I don't care what you play with, but you're not transitioning right now. You're 4 years old. Maybe you don't say it in that way because Johnny doesn't understand that language. Johnny doesn't understand that language. Don't you get it? Why
Right.
doesn't in that language? Because Johnny is 4. He's 4 years old.
Right.
Johnny
Right.
wants to be a butterfly, right? Are you tattooing butterflies all over Johnny's body?
Yeah.
Are you going to put him on the surgery table and sew wings on his back?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're not.
No.
So
No.
let Johnny genitalia till he's old enough to decide he doesn't want it.
Right.
And 26, not 18.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right? They should make a vote at 26 instead of 18, since they make a sound decision at 18.
Right.
I don't care how poor they are. Their brains.
Yep.
It is wrong. It is
Yep.
wrong.
Yep.
It is wrong to change your child's sexuality.
Yes, it is.
That bug does not like me. I don't care if you fly outside, just don't come near me. I'm just like, I don't like bugs. I'm not a person. You know, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry.
So this Christmas, this year, as we look at closing out the old year.
Happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, happy, but let's be nice to each other.
Yes.
And stop destroying the Christmas trees.
Yes.
Because I don't remember anybody ever getting, and I wouldn't want them to, getting rid of Hanukkah bush or a Kwanzaa candle or and I don't see that happening, but I see a lot of people getting rid of Christmas, and it's wrong.
Yeah.
Just like everybody else's holiday needs to be respected, so does Christmas.
Exactly. So yeah, that's why we live in America, so we can have a Christmas and we don't have to worry about what someone else thinks about it.
And stop worrying about getting another country back, or you cannot change, if another country has part of your land, whether you're Irish, Italian, it's Ireland, it's Greece, it's Italy, it's whatever, it is what it is. Americans, we're not going to the Indians and saying, hey, you know what? I'm really sorry that and first of all, the Greeks weren't here, by the way. My people were in Greece when this happened. But besides the point, I live here now. I live in America. I'm not necessarily the Indians and saying, so sorry that you live on the reservation. Here's the property back. Nobody's doing that, right? But we respect them. They were here. They are Americans.
Yes.
Okay, they were.
Yep.
They were the first Americans, and then we
first
came
Americans.
Along, first Americans, and then we came along, and and so we have to respect them and give them gratitude.
Yep.
And live side by side with them, but at the same time, not giving back our properties to them, right? Just like we can't go to other countries and necessarily, who wants bloodshed? Leave it alone. Even like, and I've seen one of my other videos, if Israel and the Palestinians could just see that they can live side by side, children don't have to die.
Yeah.
Really don't have to kill each other off.
Right.
They've been living side by side for thousands and thousands of years. And this fighting hasn't gotten them anywhere.
No.
They've been thousands of years. Maybe they should just say, hey, you know what? You have a house, I have a house, you have kids, I have kids. Let's let them today, huh?
Yeah.
Let's our stones down and our battles down and
Mm-hmm.
our bombs down
Yeah.
for maybe, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the Palestinian mother wants what the Jewish mother wants.
Yep.
They're trying to live
Right.
and to eat and to go to
Mm-hmm.
school, get
Yep.
educated, and
Yep.
to, right?
Yep.
Go to your temple, let them go to their mosque and live.
Yeah.
There's really no reason to fight. There's
Right.
no fight in anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let like say, I respect you, you know?
Yeah.
I totally respect the fact that people who honor their faith.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Muslim women are beautiful women. They have a right to
Yep.
wear their traditional clothing
Yeah.
and be Americans,
Right. Right. Well,
right?
and in um Iran, Muslim women there are or is it Tehran? Tehran. It's in that area. Women are um protesting having to wear full face covers, covering their hair, covering their face. They're protesting that, and they're being beaten, and they're being put in prison, and they're being killed, and because they're protesting. So there's a big uprising happening now in Middle Eastern countries because of that. You know, in the United Emirates, uh, women, I think it was last year that they finally got to, they finally passed it, a law so that women could actually drive. Before last year, 2021, there was a country in this world where women were not allowed to drive because they were looked down upon as being less than, you know. So when we look at the holidays, we should look at it as more than just Christmas, more than just Thanksgiving, that these are times to be grateful wherever we're at. If we have a roof over our head, clothes on our backs, food on the table, you know,
Absolutely.
we need to, and for me, that's what it's about, is bringing family and friends together and celebrating life and being grateful for that life, you know, thanking
Yeah.
God for our life, for helping us, for guiding us, for being that guiding light for us,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, it is I just pray so much for what's happening in this country. It is, and around the world. Now Russia, I'll stop with all the stuff here in a minute. But um there's a man that lives in Russia that does a podcast, and he was telling everybody about what's happening in Russia right now.
Mm.
That if you live in Russia, and you are a certain age and you're a man, you get taken from your family and put into the you get put into the war. You're not asked, you're just taken and put in there. They have they're not allowed, they took away all the businesses, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Walmart, all American businesses are out of Russia now.
Wow.
And they, Russia bought them back, bought those properties back, those businesses, for $1, for $1. They don't have American Express anymore. They don't have MasterCard, Visa, no credit cards. the government controls the entire country of Russia.
Wow.
So when I think of that, I think about, yes, these European countries are beautiful, beautiful landmarks, beautiful countryside, just beautiful. But that's not all that's happening there, and people here are talking about all this suffrage happening here and reparations. I want money for something that someone did 200 years ago.
And not to me.
And so it doesn't matter that I didn't have anything to do with it. What matters is that somebody 200 years ago really fucked up a bunch of people.
Children apologize for something that they haven't even had anything to do. Little 4 years
that
old.
they don't even understand.
They don't even understand what they're apologizing for, first of all.
Yeah.
And second of all, they didn't do it.
Yeah.
Other bad people did it. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
the people who have hurt other cultures aren't bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bad behavior is bad behavior.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the little children.
No.
No.
Nope, it was not.
Let's all love each other. Let's move forward.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, you don't have to like Greeks. Just don't disrespect them. You don't have to
Right.
you don't have to like anybody.
Yeah.
But don't disrespect. Just move on with your life. Wake
Yeah.
up in the morning, go to work,
Mhm.
hug your family,
Yeah.
be happy, stop looking. Oh, this one doesn't like me and that one doesn't like me. And oh my
Mhm.
God. And this one said this one. Well, stop.
There you are. You went dark for a moment.
I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
So yeah, let's wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Yeah.
Did we say, I'm so glad we had
this time
Am I allowed-
together.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
Um,
By the way, that's from Carol Burnett. Let's give them credit.
Yes. We're honoring Carol Burnett.
I like Carol Burnett.
I did too. She was awesome.
I do. I like her.
She was really awesome. I really loved her. She was a great comedian, a great actress. Yep. Yep. Don't come like that anymore.
Nope. I'm going in the dark for a second.
Okay.
Second. A second.
So, gather with family and friends over this Christmas season, over the new year, and put hatred aside. It doesn't accomplish anything.
Nope.
Someday the hate's going to come back at you. And
you know what I always say? Listen, you know what? You have to realize, whether you like the word karma or you don't. I know a lot of people don't like the word karma, but here's the thing. When you have to be able to sleep at night, I sleep very well. It doesn't mean I'm a saint. It doesn't mean that I haven't hurt anybody, but I don't do it intentionally. So I wake up the next day and I say, you know what, that was really not good what I said or how I said it. Hopefully I didn't offend anybody. But you know what? But you get back on, you go, okay, that wasn't good, but I'm gonna try. My intention is to do better next time,
Yeah.
And so just recognize, you know what, you're not perfect, I'm not perfect, but let's do it better tomorrow.
Yep.
So if we've done something that's not right and we didn't intentionally try to, methodically plan to hurt somebody, then let's do it better tomorrow, right?
Yep.
And whether you're white, you're black, you're Indian, you're Greek, you're Hispanic, you're Italian, or whatever you are.
Yep.
And the thing is that also, you can't, I hate hypocrites. I hate the people that are like, I'm so religious. I can name all the saints and I can do all this and I know all the prayers. And you go to church and you bash everybody at coffee hour.
Yeah.
Okay. or you pretend to be so holy and you talk about forgiveness and endorphins and all this stuff, but you hurt people and you take them down in your spare time.
Yeah.
Try, so if you're not methodically trying to hurt people and you really are this like loving Christian, Muslim, or whatever you are, person who tries to do good in life, then do that.
Yeah.
Don't, when you're planning on how to hurt somebody, you're fake. You're a phony. And some people are atheists, so this is what I believe. But God sees everything you do.
Yeah.
He sees what I do.
Mm-hmm.
My intention.
Yep.
So when I go lie to the priest, or I go lie to my sister, or I go lie to my mother, my father, or anybody, you can't lie to the big guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So stop pretending to be holier than thou.
Yeah.
Just try to be the best version of who you are.
Exactly. Okay? Exactly. With that, we bid you Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. Stay safe out there. And we're praying for you. Oh.
Okay.
All right.
See ya.
We'll see ya on the next show.
Okay. Well, sorry, but
yeah, we're a work in progress. We'll get it together.
Absolutely.
We're learning as we go, and we'll just keep learning as we go. We look forward to you hitting like, share, subscribe,
and if we
and
say
ring the bell.
We welcome it. We welcome. That's why, like, I'm even watching Harry and Meghan thing, because like, I don't want to just say I dislike somebody. I want to know I dislike them. No, I want to listen. I'm willing to listen to people who think differently than me. Just say it in a respectful way, and maybe you'll change our minds.
Yeah, let's have a conversation.
That's what a conversation's all about.
Yep. So tell us what you think on the comments below. We welcome your feedback. And but again, as Maria was saying earlier, negative feedback, we're okay with that. Ugly feedback, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya.
Yeah, absolutely.
So good night.
Good night.
And we'll see you next time here at home with Cynthia and Maria.
Bugs bite. And speaking of that, before I even close my eyes, my son go in there and,
kill the bug.
Well, he probably won't kill him. He'll be like, let me capture him and put him out. So the bug is probably going to live. I'm just hoping it lives outside my house rather than in the house.
Yeah. Right.
And because I don't have a kitchen, I'm there. I'm there.
There you are. Oh, yum.
Yummy, yummy.
Okay. Very yummy. Okay. Take care.
Mwah.
Mwah. Bye for now. Bye for now. Where am I? Hold on. I'm getting to, there we go. Stopping the recording.